So I want to make sure that I touch on the means of communication as you're working through step one, step two, and step three. And if you decide to do step four, five, and six, um, you know, one of the things I've noticed is a lot of you don't like picking up the phone. You're afraid to call people. And let's just be honest, okay? You're afraid to do it. It's scary. People yell at you. I mentioned earlier, we should be focused on the fact that this is probably the largest purchase of their life. They're anxious. They are ignorant to a lot of the process compared to what you understand and know, and yet we're letting their opinion dictate what we're going to be doing next. And so we need to be calling. You need to be using the questions that I'll be talking about a little bit later on to surface misinformation, confusion, and all that stuff. And the way you want to do that is through calling. Step one, you should be calling new leads a lot. Step two, you should be calling leads because they're unconverted but they're active. And step three, you should be calling because you've converted them, you've labeled them hot, warm, and cold, but they're active on your website. My favorite way to call leads in LionDesk is you figure out who you want to call. And here's the significance of this, okay? Once I hit start, Chastity is going to show up on the screen. This main screen right here, okay? All of her information. And some of you, and it's going to start calling. And for some of you, that's very scary because you like to memorize everything that the lead has done over the last year, read all the notes, and really be prepared. And you're making a mistake. It should take you about 10 seconds to call someone, and if they don't answer, move on to the next one. And so once you hit start dialer, that process, that dialing session is going to start. And you're going to finish the call with that one person. You're going to hang up. It's not going to automatically dial the next person. It's going to let you type in some notes, and then you hit next, and then the next call goes forward. And so why is this valuable? Well, it's valuable for a few reasons. One, you're not going back and forth between windows. We know that we get ADD, we get distracted. We don't want to call anyway. We should, but we don't want to. So we're looking for reasons to get out of it. And so this kind of sandboxes you to focus on making those dials the way that you know you should. Alongside of that, it also allows you the opportunity to pick out who you should focus on all at once and then call them, and focus one task at a time so it's more efficient. What I want you to do when you're doing these dials, so let me close out of this because I actually don't want to call them, but when I come in here, and this is LionDesk 1, over here on the right, you see all these notes. At the end of the day, really, if they answer the phone and I start off with a question I know they can answer, hey, this is Barry, Better Homes and Gardens, looks like a couple of homes caught your eye on Facebook, and I just wanted to see, did anything stand out good or bad? So let's say I start with that question. They're going to answer it. While they are answering the question, I'm going to look at some of the details here. So it looks like they've looked in Virginia Beach. Let's see. They looked in 23454. So I can very quickly say, are you still looking in 23454? And, if we think about it, we were memorizing everything the lead was doing to try to sound educated, but I just did the same thing and it took me 10 seconds. I referenced the zip code that they're looking in. And so you need to understand that you don't need courage unless you're afraid. People that need courage do things while they're afraid. And so if you're afraid to call these prospects, you just need to have enough courage to do it anyway. And then you need to be so selfless in this process that this is a large purchase. They don't think they need you. They don't get it. You know more than them. You need to act like it and, call them and work through the conversation, ask lots of questions, and allow them to tell you what they think is going to happen over the next 2 years. And they're going to tell you stuff that's wrong. And that's your opportunity to add value. They don't know what they don't know, so pick up the phone and call them.